Hello guys and welcome back. It is Lewis here and welcome back to Reflections, guys. It is me, Lewis Harmon, and I am the star of the show. So guys, welcome back to Reflections. So it's 2020. So far, I mean, looking at the weather, it's not the best start to the year, let's say that. Well, maybe we can. I mean, say what you want, but this looks pretty terrible to me. But I am happy. I'm back, and I'm so I'm so happy that I'm back to college, because one, I've missed my friends, two, I'm making sure this is my year where I try to be successful and also stay on top of things. Now last year, as far as I'm concerned, I'd managed to stay on top of things. A few things got left underneath the mat, but this year we're going to take them out of the mat and put them bang on my work. So guys, thank you. Here we go. We're going to start this. First 2020 reflection. Here we go. January's a bitch. So, last year's reflections I used to write all my notes for reflections in this book, but the reason I want to do this time, boom, straight in the trash, because I'm going to talk out of my mouth. Why do I feel like I'm gone into American accent? I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's because we're doing like American accents at the moment. But anyway, let's start this off. So, starting back at college straight away. What a first week that was. Okay, so we started off straight away with a big heavy day of 9 till 6:30, and my god, just going straight back fully into 3 hours of dance, you know, just maths first thing in the morning. It was just what you don't want, but you know, I needed it. You know, I needed to get back in the frame. I needed to get back in the moment. And let's just say the first week did kind of go a bit ipty-dipty. And the reason why being is this. So, Monday came back, first lesson of tutorial, first lesson of research, and of Haley for dance. And also a bit of acting. So what we did do, we actually looked at how as actors we would walk into a audition. So first of all, like first impressions, for instance, we'd walk in there with a nice smile, just look like, you know, look nice and mature. We'd say, oh, good morning, hello, how you're doing. We wouldn't just be someone that's literally like this and like, hey, I'm here to audition. Huh, Kyle. You know, we'd be more like bubbly. Hello, good morning, how are you? You know, you want to be that type of guy, don't you? Girl, or, you know, whoever you are. You want to be that type of person that walks in there with a great smile and wants to give also a nice bit of fresh air, but also something that they can rely on and they know that's going to be a positive thing. So go in there, positive energy, positive mindset, and as a positive person, because you know you're going to get a positive audition. I love these finger snaps now. This is like how I'm starting my year. Anyway, so so that was the first half of the lesson. The second half of the lesson, we was doing a bit of dance. We was doing a bit of dance movement and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I did actually enjoy it. It was nice to get back into that element because I've missed, you know, the musical side of acting that at Nescott. You know, ever since, you know, we left performing arts, we all just thought, you know, oh God, we do miss it. We miss like, oh, we just miss it. Like Grease took me away, A Christmas Carol took me away, You Can't Stop the Beat, Hairspray is actually what we did yesterday, you know, and that's just another story to tell. So it was just nice to get back into the, you know, the chic of minds. It was nice to get back to reality again. Although this is our new reality, you know, we have to get used to it, and I'm still actually getting used to it because, you know, even though I'm this big bubbly person, I have to think more in just straight acting. Straight, like I'm straight anyway. You know what I mean? It's just like, you have to get back, you have to change a little bit in order to progress, and that's what we're doing. So it's just, once again, getting used to the differences and the changes all over again. So yeah, that was basically the start of the day. How it went, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a nice day to come back to. Probably wouldn't have chose those exact lessons to come back to. Like, I would have loved to come back to like a nice, maybe a little bit of a morning lane, just a little bit to like at least 11 o'clock. And then, so I can just slowly get ready, nice, freshly all done. Instead, I came into college looking like an absolute brick. Like, literally, my hair was just like, I was like, oh God, back to this again. And this is the thing, I wake up early every morning around 7 AM because I have work, or I've just got stuff to do, like chores, or I've got my lifestyle to live with. Lifestyle. Anyway, you know, so it's just like, it was going back into that mood swing, you know, traveling that early in the morning. Like, when I do wake up early, I don't have to travel that far. But when it comes to college, it's like buses and trains and walking in muddy. Oh my God. I wanted to wear my fresh new Vans. I haven't yet. Reasons being for that weather. Literally, alleyway, mud. Outside the house, mud. Everywhere you go, mud, soaky, wet, disgusting, dirty water. No. Vans can stay in the box. So, Tuesday. Tuesday was a bit of a... It was a bit of a day, to be honest with you, because we actually got Tuesday off because apparently what they did do in the timetable, we were supposed to have tutorial on a Tuesday because of on a Monday we couldn't have it, which then leaves a free session on Monday. So it's just like, what can you do? Like, it's just like you've got a whole massive free period just shoved right in there, and it's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? So Tuesday we have off, whereas this Tuesday, which just happened today, because this is my second week back now, Tuesday we just had today, we had to come in for one lesson and then I had maths straight away after that, which I did do. Was seeming to be a bit of a pointless day, but you know what? Hey, why not? Video stopped. So as I was saying, today we didn't have DOF today, but we had to come in for one lesson and I had maths. So, you know what, if it was just one lesson, I'd been like, one lesson, all that travelling, the money as well. It's like £2.50 to £3 a journey just up there back every day. So sometimes it does seem something so pointless that we actually could do at home. That is one thing I do have to look into, is that the fact when it can be something on the computers, the fact that I could actually do it at home, you know, and I have to pay £3 just to come in. It's like, I'm not made of money as well, so it's just that thing as well. I mean, if it's a practical lesson, or if there's at least like more than one lesson, you know what I mean? It's got to be that type of thing. It's like, it is expensive to get there and back from college, which is why I think they should introduce free travel between certain periods of the day for students only. I think that is a good idea, and I think that's something to actually take up with a higher power. One thing I did like, though, was just having that Tuesday off, because that long, last day coming straight back into last week was just so overpowering straight away. But it was good, it was good. So then Wednesday, we also have Wednesdays off now. On Wednesday, I did my own stuff, I did my driving lesson, did a bit of work, did a bit of this, a bit of that, DIY, you know what I mean? So then coming back into college on Thursday. Thursday was the first day rolling back into things at Gary, which was exciting, which was good. And also the same for Friday, which is nice. So Thursday's lesson, we had looked into terms of what we would write about, what type of story, what do we want this film's like, what do we want the storyline to be, the plot, the baseline, what do we want it to be? And a lot of us chose ideas, whether it be like something between LGBT plus, or it would be self-harm, or it would be God, there were so many. Literally like a whole massive list of things, but basically what we would want to do. And was also divided into, I think it was four individual groups in the class. My group was with Summer, Millie, Sam and Thomas, and myself. And basically ours was about LGBT, and it still is. And apparently now we have to go more in depth with it, which is what we are doing. You know, we've already got our own group chat about our film idea, and we are turning it into something bigger and bigger and bigger. Now on on Friday, we did more stuff where it came to like, so we had a little bit of an algorithm. We had a bit of a proper algorithm around things. You know, we had the camcorder set up, and you know, we all took this one turn. So it was all like sitting around the classroom, and we each had to do this. We were shown twice by Gary what we had to do. I think I still remember it. So the first thing we have to do is walk into the shot, take off our jacket. Then we have to walk onto another mark in front of the camera, but our eye line would be on top of the camera. So we'd have to look at that. And then one person would ring us on our phone. Oh, hello, mate. How's it going? All right? Oh, you're not. And then you would hear a big bang upstairs. You'd be like, are you here? You know, so, and then after that, the TV would go, and then the TV would just like bang out with a noise, and you had to like turn around and look at the TV, put your phone down, say, call you mate back in a minute. Walk over to another piece of set on the mise-en-scene, get up and press the remote. Have to have it with your left hand, press the remote, walk over to the TV and think, forget about it. Then you go over to this whiskey and glass, pour yourself a glass of whiskey, down the whiskey, down the hatchet, right down your gubber, and then bang. There's a big bang upstairs, you're like, hold the shot, because it's like it's a horror movie. excuse me. It's like a horror movie, which is what we're doing. So he was testing our ability on following the steps, 2, how good we are when it comes to nerves and realization of certain aspects, like the noises, the mobile phone scene, our memory, as of course is another thing, and also just to see our reactions to certain things like, well, horrific noises and horrific moments and stuff like that. Because Gary actually, what he did was he has his phone in his hand and he'd randomly just play it. So your reaction would actually have to be real. Your reaction would have to be real. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, the class is 18, I think. So I think I was like maybe the 14th or 15th one to go in. And it's where I've been watching the same thing so many times. It's like this. I was like, the radios are on. I was so drowsy in that lesson as well because the radio is literally here in the room. Like, God, it was like a sauna. I'm surprised there wasn't steam and air like running around the room. Well, there was air. So literally, it was just like, it was madness. Pure madness. I was like, oh friend, it's ringing my phone. Oh, TV, bang. Oh, hi mate, TV's on. Didn't even look at the TV was on when I was trying to turn it off. Like, literally, it's just, when you do watch something a certain amount of times, you do tend to like fit it so well as that you feel like you've already done it. You know what I mean? So that was one thing, but it was intriguing, was very good to learn, put myself back in focus. It was a good lesson and I really, really, really did enjoy it. We also had various moments out on that day where we was sharing our topic once again with the class, and we had to actually act out a performance scene. And in this scene, we had Thomas, who was playing the role of a transgender, but he was trans. He was trans after the change, and Millie was actually the before the change even happened. So Millie and Thomas were basically playing the same character, but Millie was before the transition happened, and then Thomas was the after of the transition. And it's basically just showing them two saying the same thing about them not having a good close relationship with their parents because of them being transgender. Me, Sam and Summer was playing the roles of just 3 friends that were just bickering and just making so much like conversation about how their bond is with their parents, but not on purpose, but just because that's how their bond is. And like Thomas's character, I forgot the name, I think it's like Lucas or something, or Leo. Group chat's going now, like the film ideas Summer's posting, and literally it was just like Thomas just had to kind of worship the idea of how our bond was and stuff like that, and he just came up with really good. It was a bit of a jibber jabber because we had to basically set up that whole entire scene within like 10 minutes. Which was in a break of another team upstairs working with Gary. So this one did happen pretty much by us, and then Gary did come down and helped us, which was lovely jubbly. And yeah, came down with Micah. So it was Micah and Gary that were very so kindly helping us with that one in the lesson. When I'll text in there for a second. And yeah, so coming back in straight away, now that was that last week, I'm just going to touch on today's lesson, which is Monday. So Monday, start of the new week, and basically what happened today was we went back in the full swing, had maths early in the morning, and then it was straight into, what was it? Was it research tutorial? Oh no, yesterday I mean, sorry. That was today. So yeah, no, we had maths early in the morning, and then it was tutorial, research again, and then we did have the 3 hours of Haley. And the 3 hours of Haley, my god, it was basically remaking Hairspray's You Can't Stop the Beat, which is like the big grand end song where they're all happy and jolly. 3 hours. 3 hours, and I'm telling you now, I can feel the changes. I've actually lost 3.5 stone since the start of level 2. Which is like, yeah, and it's just like, but I can feel the changes, like where you just know you haven't been in that type of lesson in a while. So getting back into the swing of a musical theatre type lesson with Haley was 1, fantastic, and 2, tiring. Haley's lessons are so extreme, which is what I love about Haley's lessons. Like, you just know when you got Haley, you've got a great lesson, and her motivation and vibe in the lesson is amazing, glamorous. But the one thing we all agreed on, we was in the theatre and there's literally no air. It gets so hot in there, there's literally no oxygen to breathe. You're like like breathing in your own air back and forth. That's a lot of CO2. So yeah, but overall, good lesson. Today was just a quick, easy one. We had tutorial with Emma, which in this lesson we was basically talking about the brief of Gary and what we think, and also talking about certain things like of how we would plan the movie ourselves. So for instance, if we was the location manager, and we basically just had to give examples, and that was very, very hard because we had not even spoken about the film properly. Like apart from the other day when we was just talking about ideas, we have got no idea what we're doing, where this might even be set, what's going on. So it was a really big brainstorming lesson, and it was a very, very hard, and not a lot of us actually got it by the end, but that lesson did drag. Let's put it that way. And then maths straight away after, and now I'm home, thank God, out of this wind and rain. So that was like the first brief week, which is the reason why this reflection is like 16 minutes nearly, because it was just a massive whole range of things. So I actually really enjoy making these reflections, and it's really nice to get back into it because I really do enjoy making these reflections, because I feel like it's easier for me to say it to a camera and also put on my funky acty side along the journey as well, rather than writing my reflections. So epic. So a lot more videos of reflections this year. So this year is going to be a hectic year from what I know. Just thinking about the reflections that I've got coming up with just what I'll be talking about, it's going to be fun and fantastic and fabulous. Thank you very much for watching the first 2020 reflection. I was going to say review, like what am I reviewing? The reviewing my meltdown already this year. Thank you very much. See you later.